this is me, Lauri, and here's my friend Robin. Over the past year, we made huge progress here on Minecraft World, because teamwork makes the dream work. Sit back and relax and watch the movie where we built some crazy buildings and the biggest of farms. Here is 1 year of Minecraft Survival, the movie. Today we are gonna build a massive pyramid using the hottest block available.
So you're gonna turn me into blocks and build it out of that?
Almost, but I actually meant using the lava, which is so hot that it even hurts.
Like any other of our great ideas, it all began by just asking, I wonder if lava would make for a great pyramid?
We recently built a pyramid out of water, but for that we first built a huge dirt pyramid, so we could cover that with water and then destroy the dirt, leaving behind only water.
But for lava, you can't really see through it. So I think if we use glass to build a pyramid at first and then cover that with lava, we will have a normal lava pyramid on the outside, but a see-through one on the inside.
About the glass we are gonna need, well, it's around 100,000 of them. Do we have that much glass? Nope. Do we have enough sand to smelt into glass? Definitely no. But getting sand is an easy problem to fix. Just start up the sand tubers and wait for a couple of hours.
Actually, it's about 6 hours we need to AFK here. So yeah, no more playing today, see you guys tomorrow.
The next morning.
We didn't get back after 6 hours. We got back after 9 hours and there was a lot of sand tube during this time. After putting everything into shulker boxes, which took 20 minutes by itself, we were left with 83 shulker boxes of sand.
That is 43,000 more than our goal. Oops, but this is what I call an happy accident. But our bigger problem now is this furnace room.
Bruh.
If you can even call it the furnace room. Do you really think we are gonna use this to smelt 100,000 sand? No, we are not.
This is where I have to give a shout out to Ahiles, who has made this really cool super smelter design using 44 furnaces.
And we have wanted to build a super smelter for a while, so this is the perfect opportunity to do it. Just gotta collect some stuff for it and we can start building it.
We have all the items for the new furnace room all collected and ready, but where should we build it?
I don't know where could we fit such a huge thing into this storage room. Maybe right here? I think building it under our storage room is a genius idea. Thank you Elon Musk for the inspiration. We basically have unlimited free space here. So this is gonna be our furnace room. And the furnace goes here.
I know you're thinking, why are we building duplicates of the same stuff on the both sides? This is because we are building 2 super smelters here to get double the speed and have a total of 88 furnaces. I wanted to show you guys the super smelter that we just built, not bought. It may seem a bit complicated at first, but it's actually very simple.
And the work it does looks like this. It takes all the sand from the shulker box and loads it into this minecart. This minecart then goes around and puts all the 88 furnaces full of sand. And behind the door you can see how the fuel is generated. It's all made by using these carpet tubers. So we don't need to input any fuel and can watch all the glass flowing in. And of course, it is packed into shulker boxes right back there. It's like 1,000 times better than the furnace room we had before.
Now we can just take all of our sand into shulker boxes and input those into our 2 super fast super smelters. If the numbers don't lie, then it smelts us about 32,000 items per hour.
While the super smelters do their work, we should get the hot stuff from the nether.
This lava pyramid needs a lot of lava, so we need to fill up all of these 24 shulker boxes with lava. And you know what's crazy? It took 225 iron blocks to make all of these buckets. That's quite a lot. But let's get collecting the lava.
After we collected the lava, our item collection part was done and it was time to head to the build site. Can you believe where we are gonna build it? Of course, next to the water pyramid, because lava and water go together. We have to make sure to make it exactly the same size as the water pyramid. Otherwise they will be misaligned and it will look horrible.
Building the same thing over and over again is nothing new to us, so you can call us the experts of pointlessness.
By doing some simple math, we know that our pyramid is about 160 blocks tall, and as one Minecraft block equals to 1 meter in real life, it is actually taller than the tallest pyramid in the world, which is the Pyramid of Giza at 138 meters. Take that, real life pyramids.
It also started snowing here, covering up the glass with layers of snow.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely only seeing rain here. After 4 hours, we are almost done with our glass placing, and I can taste the finish line.
What does it taste like then?
Tastes like enchanted golden apples. Final couple blocks now, and we are done. We have a massive glass pyramid now, which actually looks pretty cool by itself too. But of course, we are not gonna leave it like this.
Our final step before lava is to light up everything below this lava pyramid. Because I feel like if you ever want to do something here, it's better for it to be a more free environment.
I know placing torches here every 5 blocks is a bit overkill, but that way we can have a really bright area under the lava pyramid.
In total, we placed down over 2000 torches here, which took us 1.5 hours.
We just finished lighting up this whole area with torches, and as you can see... Oh wait, you can't see. Just hold on a second. Okay, now I think you can see how everything is more free below our future lava pyramid. Now we only need to place hundreds of lava buckets, just like this. Yeah, it kinda hurt.
This went so quick, I don't even think it took over 20 minutes and our lava pyramid is ready.
It looks just like a huge lava pyramid, I guess. Absolute fire. But it's not only good looking on the outside. You can even go on the inside and see the lava behind the glass.
I'm glad we chose to use the glass blocks since it really looks cool. I mean hot.
It's not the most useful thing, but just look at these 2 pyramids. They look almost as good as we do. That was a fun project, but you know, it was way too simple for us. So for our next build, we're gonna build a massive copy of the Earth in our Minecraft world, which involves over 75,000 blocks, 20 hours of extreme build focus, and one mind-blowingly beautiful end result.
The idea started with seeing the Build the Earth project, where they are building a 1:1 scale of the Earth, and we instantly thought of having a tiny version of this in our world.
But to find some more realistically buildable mini worlds, we went on Planet Minecraft and downloaded some maps. Many of the worlds looked really good and accurate to the real world, but building something this big is not gonna take a couple of days. It will probably take a couple of months.
So, it was time to design our own Earth by using this image we got from Google, did some edits to it in Photoshop and turned it into a Minecraft pixel art, which is black and white, and then spent about 10 hours making it colorful and alive, but that is top secret and you guys will see it as we build it.
Block collection is easy. I just googled what is the Earth made out of, and I see that 70% of it is water. Okay, 2 water buckets will give us the infinite water. Then we need a lot of dirt, some sand. Oh wait, actually sandstone. But then I realized it takes 4 sand blocks to make a single sandstone. Why is this so scam?
I'm already going to turn on the sand tuber. Don't worry about that. We just can't start building right away.
We already made a couple shulker boxes of snow blocks from a single snowman. But how? Well, just like this here, easiest and infinite snowballs farm, and I just need to constantly craft the snowballs into snow blocks.
So it's next day and we have all the sand that we collected over the night. But now let's craft that into sandstone.
There is a total of 41 shulker boxes of sand we need to convert. That's a big number.
Now we have sand for sandy areas, dirt for all the grass areas, and snow blocks for the snowy areas.
We are looking for a place to build it, and I do know that way we have a huge ocean. So let's go there. Hey!
We are surrounded by nothing but water, and we need to build the whole world on this ocean.
This location is chosen that after we have built everything, it will all fit onto the 50 maps that I have here. So we can make a 5x3 map wall.
Starting with the United States.
Now we have part of the North America's outline drawn out. But before we do any mountains or decorations here, we need to fill in this inside of the outline. As you can see, we are going truly into detail when building these transition areas from grass to sand. This is taking us a lot of time, but hopefully it will be worth it at the end.
So the part of the North America is now ready, or at least the flat area is ready. We still need to add some mountains and some decoration here. But on another note, watching this grass here grow is like watching paint dry. It's very slow. So we need to get the silk touch shovel and get more grass blocks to speed up the process. If the country happens to have huge mountains like Canada here, then we will also build out those. And some decorations, since they just look funny when built extremely small.
Let's do a quick tour of the decorations. Here we have New York with some buildings and the Statue of Liberty. A white button representing the White House. And I'm sure you know what these are, the three guys carved into a wall. It's the Grand Canyon and behind it is the Trump Wall. But this is LA. And behind there you can see some big mountains, like for example, since this mountain is 6 blocks tall, then that means it is 6,000 meters tall. And that's basically it. Now let's build some more cooler places, and by cooler I mean colder.
The white snow blocks are so visible to the eye and looks great so far. Shout out to Greenland for being frozen and looking this good. The coldest part of the earth is ready and it looks absolutely beautiful. And the Greenland even has this mini igloo on it.
We gotta build the rest of America, but first we need to get over the Trump Wall to Mexico. Ugh, that was easy. So far we have spent almost 4 hours on building all of this, and there is still a long way to go building this whole earth. Now even the South America is all done and decorated, but we are missing one US state, and it's a really small one located just about here. And it's Hawaii, consisting of exactly 4 blocks. But now let's head on to Europe.
Is this one Europe?
No.
This one?
No.
Starting point of Europe is this small country, Estonia. We live here, so it only makes sense to start from this.
Europe definitely isn't huge, so currently our time spent on this project is at 6 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, the Europe is done and I'm standing here on one of the highest mountains in Europe with my friends. And here you can see the Eiffel Tower that is located in Paris, and this redstone block shows where we live. Yes, we live right here.
That is literally our address reveal with 1 Minecraft block accuracy. Let's continue with our geography lesson. Look at the world map now. We finished Africa and also added this small part of Asia, which has the Burj Khalifa tower here. Here we even have the Pyramid of Giza with some cactus. Oops. But we still have a lot of the Asia to build and have some cool decorations coming up.
This whole outline is all part of Russia.
The reason why some countries seem so big and others small is because a round earth map is made flat and all the sizes go all weird. For example, when you compare the size of Greenland to Africa, you can see how small Greenland actually is. It is just really stretched out on the map.
Finally placing dirt blocks in Russia is finished. It was a lot bigger job than I first thought, taking almost 2.5 hours to do.
But then we realized about the same amount is still remaining. Why does the earth have to be so big? I mean, we are building it in 1 to 60,000 scale, when considering one Minecraft block is 1 meter. But still, it's taking a lot longer than expected.
This little decoration here should be recognizable. No, it's the Taj Mahal in India. Anyway, a little time update says we are 14.5 hours into this project and have only a couple of little islands left to build.
Okay, yes, we have one special thing as our last build. That's Australia. And since you are backwards, it's pretty difficult to build like this. Actually, New Zealand needs to get built too, but when we complete those, our world map will be done.
After 16.5 hours, we finished the whole Earth. While this looks just great when flying over it, we can't end our project before mapping it out.
This involves just having to explore a total of 15 maps, while somehow keeping track of which map is which in our inventory.
We made this special map wall, and let's add all of the maps here in the right order.
I think Australia is backwards.
Oh yeah, sorry mate.
Wow, it looks so realistic and just like a world map should. Here is the comparison of what we see in game and what it looks like on a map.
The colors are way different and I think I even like it more on the map here.
I know we forgot to add the UK to this map, but everybody thought that was kinda funny. What they didn't think is the idea we had for the next build. Today we are adopting 1000 sheep and bringing them to an empty island to build a wool farm which will produce more than 1 million wool in 24 hours.
Hold on, what's wrong with our current sheep farm?
I am glad you asked. It's garbage. It only has 1 sheep for every color, so when we need some wool, we never have enough from here. The solution so far has been this, just a land full of sheep that we then harvest, but we don't have time for that.
Okay, I get it, and I definitely agree. But if you're going to make a new farm, let's do it right and make it produce at least 1 million wool in 24 hours.
Yikes, is it even possible to build a farm that big?
Dude, we are Shulkercraft after all, there is no other option. To be able to hit the goal, we need over 1000 sheep and they ain't gonna fit around this area. But I do remember we had some nice looking islands where we could build it.
Or even better, what if we build it on a mushroom island? This is a completely more free... Oh wait, that means there's also no sheep around here. I didn't really even think of that. So we headed back to the closest island with mobs, made ourselves some boats and got the sheep. Come here, you little sheep.
Oh, there is a sheep following you. You're robbing his mom.
Uh-oh, busted.
That's a bit rude, Lauri.
He's coming, but he's really slow. We'll pick him up later on.
If you guys just knew how lucky you are to be the first sheep in our huge project.
You can go back to your mama now. Here you go. Very nice. Whole family is here. At some point there is gonna be 1000 sheep right here. So if you don't wanna get a call from PETA, we better make it that 1 sheep has at least 1 block of space.
This is not your regular sheep farming area, it's a special shape, so we can get the sheep out of here one by one. But first, we gotta breed a lot of them. As for the farm itself, we did some investigation work beforehand on YouTube and found this really cool sheep farm by Jetmay Menda. It can produce over 82,000 wool per hour when built into this quadruple floor farm.
Looking at the size of the island we have here, we are not gonna build an apartment complex here. Instead, it's gonna be a 1-layer tall sheep farm that is just the maximum size possible from one age to another.
And we already collected all the blocks required to build this farm, but that wasn't easy.
The farm needed like 14,000 glass, but black glass is cooler, so we had to spend the extra time coloring them after smelting. Then it completely robbed us out of all the redstone supply, since the sheep farm needed like 3,000 observers, a lot of droppers, pistons and so on.
Not trying to flex or anything, but I'm super proud of these 9 stacks of dispensers. As you know, you gotta craft them one by one and it gets annoying pretty quickly.
Congrats, bro.
So yeah, we probably spent like 4 hours on collecting all the items needed.
Finally, we can get to building the farm on this island.
No dude, we need to landscape and make it nice and flat first. The farm area is now flat and ready, but we still have to do the edges around the farm. A random fact, but did you guys know on the mushroom island a grass block looks super bright and green?
Wow, imagine if you could actually do the whole island like this.
We actually can. Just grab a shovel and a hoe, then use both of them to convert mycelium into dirt blocks, and then eventually it will turn into grass. If it's close to grass block, of course.
Finally, a one good use for the netherite hoe. Look at our island now, it is all so beautiful and green. But how are you doing, Robin, with the sheep?
The breeding is going well. We had 10 sheep and now we have hundreds of white sheep and 1 blue sheep.
Meh. We have already spent 3 hours working on preparing this island. Let's finally begin with the farm build.
The rails you're seeing will be used as a redstone wire to turn the farm on and off. It's gonna produce tens of thousands of wool blocks per hour, so it's important to stop the lag when we are not using it.
The build is now at this point that we need to get in the sheep, and let me show you how we do that. So for this, we made a little railway, and now we can send in the sheep and just drop it into its own little place. 1 sheep done, only 1023 more to go.
Like with any of our huge Minecraft build projects, we have no idea if a small board is gonna take 1 hour or 10 hours. Today we are just transporting 1000 sheep, typical day of Minecraft YouTuber.
And talking about useful skills, we actually got pretty fast with sending the sheep to their new homes. At about halfway in, I would say we were sending in a sheep every 10 seconds or so.
It took us 5 hours to get the 1000 sheep into their position, and we are very tired. But before we close up the chambers, we can't forget to color them using these beautiful dyes. There will be a total of 64 sheep in every single color.
I only have one thing to say about this beautiful view. What color is your sheep farm? Now this looks way cooler. We have the whole rainbow color of sheep here. Now we gotta close off the sheep areas so they can feel nice and secure in here.
Can't forget the most important part of the sheep farm, inputting the shears. We want to run this farm for hundreds of hours without problems, so we need a lot of shears.
That's why this whole dispenser is going to be full of shears. This whole dropper, but also a hopper and a barrel behind it. So every 2 sheep gets 50 shears in total. Quick math shows we need 25,600 shears in total.
And no, we didn't forget about this. Thanks to our powerful iron farm, we were able to collect over 50,000 iron ingots in under 2 hours. And by collecting, I mean we just sat here doing nothing.
Let's craft and input all the shears to be one step closer to finishing this sheep farm.
When we got close to the end of crafting all the shears, I noticed Lauri looked kinda old. Then I realized the time has gone way too fast, and we just spent 2 hours inputting the shears.
Before we get too old, let's build a nice decoration around this farm.
To remind us what collection of wool colors we have here, we are making these beautiful walls around the farm. Although I'm only scared about one thing, lightning.
It's mostly made out of wool. So, as you can understand, a thunderstorm is something we need to avoid at all costs. If you're asking how do we even collect all the wool, then this is the next little part we need to build.
Alright, our farm build is ready, unless I just had a great idea on what to change. Okay, now the build is officially ready, but how well does it work?
You just have to see it for yourself. It's crazy. Flicking this lever will turn on the whole farm and have a look at all that wool that is being harvested. The amounts are just crazy and they're all going into our collection system. That's like a rainbow Skittles dispenser.
To be honest, this farm definitely needs a loud environment sign. The sheep do be kinda going crazy here.
But remember where we started, being completely out of wool. So we tested this new farm for 24 hours straight, and here is the result of that. It brought us a total of 1,267,000 wool blocks. How crazy is that? Basically generating 15 wool blocks every single second.
You will never see us complaining about wool blocks again, thanks to this farm. We trapped these mushroom cows beforehand, so now they can be let free again.
Enjoy your brand new island. What about these sheep here? Do we let them free as well? Yeah, I can't explain any more about that ending. Anyway, our story continues with a build challenge. There are 14 trillion chunks in Minecraft, but today we will limit ourselves to using just a single Minecraft chunk while aiming to build the ultimate one chunk Minecraft base. As you might know, a chunk is exactly 16 by 16 blocks area in Minecraft.
And this definitely isn't big, unless we dig it all the way down to the bedrock.
Beacon material, 1 beacon, a shovel, and just a couple pickaxes. We can now begin.
Already I'm seeing a problem. We can't have these holes going into caves.
Imagine we built a base here and then this guy comes to visit us. That's no good.
Gotta leave them trapped behind the walls.
Oh, pro gamer moves.
And just like that, we are at Y level minus 59.
Just like that? More like just 2 hours, but here we are now. And this truly feels like a lot of space we can use to build our one chunk base.
But what exactly will our one chunk base have?
Okay, here's the plan. A main house, bedroom, storage room, creeper farm, slime farm, sugarcane farm, cobblestone farm, and the secret. The first thing we will build here is a top secret area. So, editor, please blur out the time-lapse to keep it a secret.
I can only give you guys 2 hints on what this will be. It's a game that fully works with redstone. And this game is a total scam, both in real life but also here in Minecraft.
I don't know if you guessed it by now, but either way, I'm only gonna show it once we finish the whole chunk.
For the next floor, we also need some little workers. What an easy bait. They just can't resist this beautiful fresh carrot.
Oh, I'm so surprised he survived this thing.
Now we have 2 villagers, which means it's time to start breeding them.
One of these guys goes into our top secret gaming hall. Looking good behind the table, my dude.
The first official floor will have a small trading hall, and that's basically it. But this is also where our 1 chunk base elevator starts from.
I just finished up building the water elevator, but this one has a special feature. It has the floor selector, so I can just select the floor and then go to the 6 of the special builds we will have. It's super simple redstone, but gives off a really cool effect.
Oh nice, they are finally grown up. We can now move them into their new house. And now it's time to move to the next floor.
Down here we only have deep state. And people always want what they don't have. So we're gonna make a cobblestone farm here. I also found out that flying with an elytra in just a single chunk is clearly not enough space for me.
Maybe after all these years, you should just learn to play Minecraft for once. Cobble farm done, taking us only an hour to build. Next floor please.
This here will be a sugarcane farm, but with flying machines.
There is a good reason for choosing sugarcane, but you will understand it once we build a couple more farms.
And of course it's gonna be multiple layers tall, so we can actually get a good hourly rate of sugarcanes from here.
The sugarcane farm is now finito, and the next farm that we are building up here can only be built into some certain chunks. And this chunk is one of them.
Now you probably know what this is. It's gonna be a slime farm because it's a slime chunk. You know, we gotta use all the abilities this chunk has to offer.
And our slime farm is done as well. But 3 farms are not enough for Shulkercraft's 1 chunk base. We gotta have more. We built the farm to get paper beforehand, so it only makes sense to make a farm to get gunpowder. Then we can combine these 2 and craft ourselves rockets.
What is happening here? You got teleporting cats now. And you got so many of them.
It's going to be a cat-based creeper farm, so I brought my little friends to help us out. Oh no, my cat is drowning.
What? Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I didn't even think they could fit into this trench. Rip in peace, Robin's catto. The creeper house is ready, and just look at those decorations. We have this dope looking roof, a creeper face and a water drench.
Yeah, this drench literally took my cat's life. Maybe make safer decorations next time.
Talking about safe things, we gotta have a place to live and sleep at. Also, by total coincidence, we are now on the ground level. Totally not planned this way. So, let's start building our house into this chunk.
Main building block in this house is deep slate tiles, but what's funny is how you make the block. We had a ton of cobbled deep slate, so we took that and turned them into polished deep slate. Then we took those blocks and made them into deep slate bricks. And finally, we got to craft the deep slate tiles. A 4-step process.
Before you comment, I know we could have just used the stone cutter, but come on man, who has a stone cutter laying around? Inside the first floor of our house we have these automatic potion makers, but obviously they don't work right now, since there are no ingredients in any of these droppers behind them. We gotta stock them up later on, but now we gotta start building the second floor of our house.
The second floor has some classic Minecraft based stuff, a storage room. The third floor is just a place to sleep at, and our final floor will have a space for furnaces.
Robin, what is this?
A Minecraft block, I guess. The house is pretty much ready, but we still have to build 2 floating islands on top of the house, inside the single chunk of course.
These floating islands are not just for decoration. Remember the farms we built deep in the chunk? Well, in order to use those farms, we need to AFK at the correct height up in the sky.
So that's like 2 in 1. A cool decoration, but also an AFK spot to use the creeper and slime farm. And I now need to fill in the potion maker, which means I need a ton of blaze rods. Thankfully, I know what to do. If Shulkercraft need item, Shulkercraft make farm. Monkey see, monkey do. Easy.
So, what else is there left to do? Ah yes, show you guys around in the one chunk base that we just spent 12 hours on to build.
Starting from the bottom, and I mean the real bottom, we get into a secret underground casino.
What's really cool about this roulette wheel is that it actually works. You can just input your bet here, then choose the color that you want to bet on, and finally just start the wheel.
It is designed by Rexstone, so huge shout out to him. But let's see, what do we get?
We got scammed. That's what we got. Let's try it again. Oh, that's our color. Here comes the win. We get back double the amount we put in.
Overall, this area looks super beautiful, but we have 6 more floors to visit. Hello villagers. So, let's begin with the cobblestone farm first.
This farm can be easily activated from here and produces us a total of 73,500 cobblestone per hour. That's very many blocks and a very simple build. 10 out of 10.
Our next floor is the sugarcane farm that we can use to make paper. It has a total of 3 flying machines and can be activated from this lever here.
Looking nice and compact and producing over 680 sugarcane per hour. What's really nice about this one chunk farm based contraption is the ability to run all the farms at once. What can we say about this build? We just really love farming stuff.
And surprise surprise, the next floor is a slime farm. As we said before, this is a slime chunk, otherwise we couldn't have built this. And production rate wise, it makes us around 1300 slime balls per hour.
But you can't stand here in order to use it. You have to stand on this floating island right here. Otherwise all the caves will be full of mobs down there and the slime farm won't produce almost anything.
As we go up the elevator once more, past the slime farm, we get to the creeper farm collection area. Through the tinted glass, as you can see, no creepers. Well, again, this is because we need to stand on the floating island to make this farm work.
It produces us 700 gunpowder per hour.
And here is a little workstation to craft the firework rockets.
We can go back down and select the final floor from this list, which is the top floor.
These potion makers are now in fully working condition as well. Just select the potion you want and press the button. Out comes 3 perfectly made potions. And I didn't even need to Google Minecraft potion recipes. That's just amazing.
On our second floor of the house, we just have some chests, nothing special. But we can go 1 floor up more. And this is the bedroom. Just imagine if you woke up here one morning, you were like, oh, let's go to the balcony. You see this huge tree and a crazy looking redstone dirt farm. Then you definitely know that you are in a Shulkercraft world.
The final floor is just the furnace room that I'm sure we are going to use a lot. I'm kidding, of course, but we needed to fill this space with something.
To access the floating islands up there, you unfortunately need an elytra.
We can call this one chunk base a total success. I love how useful and beautiful it turned out.
We didn't just succeed at that, but we absolutely crushed that challenge. But then, we randomly found something very odd in our world. While flying back home in our Minecraft world, I noticed this one village where none of the villagers seemed to sleep, even though it was nighttime and all the mobs were out to hunt them. Turns out someone had stolen all of their beds, so they just couldn't sleep anywhere.
I may have taken them when we didn't have any wool.
Bruh.
So to make up for you stealing the beds, we are going to transform this village to look 10 times better. But that's not all. Since they are already used to the nighttime, we are going to make it into a village under the dome, where the sun never rises.
First, we must inspect the village to see what's possible. Even better, let's ask them. Sir, what would you like to get rebuilt here? Okay, but how big of a house do you want? I can definitely do that. Anything else we should know?
Okay, I think they want us to do all the thinking. So my idea is to add more houses, rebuild the existing ones, connect everything with roads and add more farming areas. Basically, at the end everything will be new.
So, we need to get the blocks for this build. A lot of wood in every type of shape, width, height, color and so on. Then a lot of decoration blocks for details, but I'm not going to even name all of these. I just grabbed everything I saw in our storage room.
And for the huge dome we want to build over the village, we need tinta glass. And a lot of tinta glass. We currently have 4 stacks and 16, but according to our calculations, we need over 16,000. And to make 1 tinta glass, you need 2 amethyst shards. This is not gonna be easy, but we got a plan.
This is the first amethyst geode we found after a bit of searching, but we are not going to destroy the crystal. Instead, we are going to collect them using silk touch. Then, you see those budding amethyst blocks? We need to dig them out so all the 6 sides are clear. Now, if we place just 1 crystal on this block and wait, it starts to duplicate to all sides. And if we wait for an average of an hour and 20 minutes, it will be all full of grown crystals.
We are digging out every single budding amethyst so we can grow a lot of crystals all at once. Basically making this into a farm we need to visit every hour.
Look at the list of amethyst geodes we have collected with coordinates. It's getting quite big and I'm really surprised we have found so many.
In an hour we collected exactly this many amethyst clusters. Pretty cool. But let's mine them with Fortune 3 and see the shards amount.
And we collected over 9,300 amethyst shards in just an hour. Wow, that's kinda amazing and fast.
I'm worried that the villagers now think we abandoned them, so we should probably go back there.
Okay, yeah, good idea. We can collect the shards later on. But right now, let's go back to the village and start doing their extreme village makeover.
Sorry guys for the small delay, but now we have all of your stuff and we can start rebuilding this whole village. Let's start.
So far we have built this wall, removed 1 house and rebuilt 2 of them.
And they are already liking the new house. Let me show you what I did here. Now it has 2 floors instead of 1. We have some decorations here and a bedroom on the top floor. And the house looks very beautiful compared to what it was before.
But all the other villagers want the new house too. So let's continue building. Step by step, we are making this village look absolutely great. Every house is rebuilt bigger and is fully decorated on the inside.
It's now been 4 hours since the start and the village looks nothing like it used to. There are so many new houses and we even built a farmland back here. But we should also farm some animals. That's why we're gonna build a barn house next up.
We light up every area of this village like it's Christmas here. Later on, when we build the tinted glass dome over this, the village better shine like a diamond under the dome.
No villager will be left out in the cold, so our next house will be built at the top of this small hill. But this is also the final house built here.
The finishing touches are just more landscaping all around here, and the village transformation should be complete.
Remember where we started from? The villagers' bed were stolen, and they had to stay awake the whole night. Then we upgraded their village, and this is what we have now.
I think the new and upgraded village looks much better. Do you agree? We also gave every house a nice looking interior with enough beds so every villager can sleep.
Time for the final step now, the tinted glass dome.
It's my time to shine and show you guys how quickly I can build this tinted glass dome over the village.
While Robin builds the dome, I have to continue collecting the tinted glass. Or I mean the amethyst shards. At least we have a lot of geodes set up so I can just walk into it and damn, look at that. There are so many crystals all waiting to be collected. I just hope that I can collect them faster than Robin can place down the tinted glass blocks.
Building the dome is not easy at all, so don't worry. I'm struggling a lot just to follow the template circle on my second monitor. It may be hard, but there is one thing I know. It will be all worth it at the end.
As my time went on, I started seeing the crystals even in my sleep.
But after 5 hours and 18 minutes, the final blocks of the tinted glass were placed. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the village under the dome.
I have to say, the build looks great during the nighttime. Oh wait, it's always nighttime there. So the build always looks great.
And I have to agree. The lights make this city come alive. And I'm sure the villagers are happy living in a village like this.
That's what I call a wholesome Minecraft moment. But we, the Shulkercraft, are known for building a lot of farms. And we had an idea to build another the fastest farm possible. This is an ocean monument, and pretty easily you can turn it into a garden farm, making you over 50,000 items per hour. But it's no secret that we like making the largest farm possible. And guess what we have right now? Not the largest farm possible. So today you will see us first train an ocean monument and then build a garden farm that is 10 times faster than the one we have right now.
At first I thought about maybe upgrading our old garden farm, but then realized, is it really an upgrade if we completely destroy it first? So that's why we are taking a completely new ocean monument like this one next to our 1000 sheep farm and building a brand new garden farm here.
I hope you didn't forget that we need to train it first.
I hope you didn't forget that we need to kill the elder guardians first.
I hope you didn't forget to get the items for the build first. Wait, you're already collecting the items to train a monument?
Oh yeah, we need a lot of sponges. I'm looking for the first ones right now. While you brought the bread to our table, look what I got. Now this is what real work looks like. I already spent a lot of time collecting sponges, but we have to go and collect even more.
But sponges are not the only thing we needed. We also duped about 30 shulker boxes of sand, and it wouldn't surprise me if we need even more than that.
Then made about 12,000 cyan glass, which was surprisingly easy to make this time. We had the glass and only need to give them the right color.
Alright, now we got our invisibility potions, and the first thing is to head into the monument. We are looking to kill the big guys who keep on making us so tired and giving us the mining fatigue.
Tiredness problem out of the way, we got to building the glass circle around the whole monument. The diameter of this whole circle is over 160 blocks, which is huge, but it's all necessary to end up with the most powerful garden farm.
This went quick, as after 45 minutes we already had the glass circle ready. Still not as quick as ordering a server from Ice Hosting or brand new hosting website for Minecraft servers. Anyway, we gotta clear the trash from the bottom of the sea now.
By trash we mean kelp, which can regenerate water. So we are dealing with our opponents here who don't want us to remove the water.
Now comes the hardest part of this project, drinking all the water. But then I realized it is salt water, so we gotta use some other technique.
As our first drainable area, we chose the temple itself, made a sand border around all of it, then divided it into 5 blocks wide sections using sand.
Maybe it's just me, but I had a very hard time surviving with the guardians.
Thanks to our huge sponge collection, we can do a couple of rows at a time, making the process just a tiny bit faster. Even when we think we are fast, we check the timer and can see this project has already taken us 5 hours and 30 minutes.
So, it only looks like this remaining water has to be removed. Great, we are only at 10% done. But here is how we can speed up the process. First of all the sand rows are placed using this piston pusher, and with this we need to section out this whole water area.
But then we remembered one amazing idea. So we are sectioning it all out a bit different, and you will see why after we are done.
You are probably not gonna believe this, but just dividing this whole area into 4 sand cubes took us over 4 hours. You could say this project is draining us out of energy. Anyhow, now for the genius plan.
These 4 huge water lakes are clearly impossible to drain with sponges right now. So we are going to build flying machines here that will do the draining for us.
So just activating this flying machine here and it should... Oh no, I messed something up. Nice, now you can see how it works. Clearing out the water here layer by layer. And all of this area is going to be built full of flying machines.
These ocean drainers are designed by Mongo over 5 years ago, and only 1 block in the whole redstone has to be switched out to make these work. I'm so happy that things like this exist, because just look how fast they are draining.
It has now been another 2 hours, but look at the progress now. It finally looks like the stuff is moving. Just gotta clear the bottom of these areas with our bare hands that didn't get drained with the flying machines.
To be completely honest, I thought this final draining will take us an extra hour, but no. Getting absolutely scammed every time I think we are close to being done. Not a good surprise, but this took us over 4.5 hours to do. This just shows how good the redstone machines are at draining water. But let's remove the sand walls now.
Only another 2 hours later and the removal process must continue with flattening the ground. Even the ocean monument has to get removed. But let's push the final step here and we can do some more exciting stuff.
Everything here, including the floor, will be decorated later on. So don't worry about this looking horrible.
It's already the longest project we have done this year, but I am happy to announce that we get to build the first part of our farm now, and in the nether that is.
The nether collection area I'm starting to build will be crazy, because we need to store literally hundreds of thousands of items every hour. This is by far the biggest sorting system with shulkerbox loaders we have ever built in our world. But it's actually not fun to look at when the guardians are not spawning.
That is a reason why now we will build the guardian farm itself. Oh, and this is the first time we actually found a good use for our stone hoarding. We had to craft over 25,000 stone stairs for the farm build. And here are all of them.
the farm itself is very easy. There will be portals exactly where the ocean monument used to be, and between those portals we are adding flowing water. So the second a garden spawns here, they will be teleported into the nether for, let's say, a skydive without the parachute.
As we were building layer by layer, we had to fill the stairs with water, and the only way to do this is one by one. This is so annoying and will take us forever to build that way.
The only better solution we found was to fill in the whole area with water and then place down all the blocks. While this made our build easier and saved us time, we got a lot of annoying fish that always seemed to push us. Or some fish that even wanted to poison us.
Did we think this project will take us over 30 hours before we even get to decorating it? No, absolutely no.
I'm not going to complain, the portal and water system took over 12 hours to build. So instead, let's just glaze at this beautiful obsidian cube. Amazing, I know.
Anyway, being already 38 hours into this project, I'm not gonna bother you with any more of the build stuff. Instead, on the background right now, you can see the decoration being built, and this was us doing it for 11 hours. But now, wow! With the help of editing, it's already done, and our garden farm project is fully complete.
Time to tour around in our 49-hour garden farm project, starting of course with the overworld side. Maybe I'm biased because I spent 49 hours on this, but I think it looks epic. The cracks in the ground, the alien looking garden farm and the beautifully lit up border make up this beautiful farm.
But I'm sure you want to see the main guys themselves, the guardians, so let's head into the nether side. And this is another crazy view I find hard to get my eyes off. This is a real-time view of how many guardians are coming through, and the production rates are on another planet.
Producing a total of 600,000 items per hour. Of course, we are not actually collecting all the raw code, but everything else we keep using these Shulkerbox loaders.
That was fun. But every once in a while you get tired of building farms and want to do manual hard labor, and here is how we suffered doing exactly that. We like farming everything using automatic farms, but today we are doing the complete opposite and seeing if it's possible to farm 1 million wheat in 200 days without using any farms. The only thing we can use is our bare hands, and we won't stop before the 200 days have passed.
The next step after setting a goal is to have a game plan, and we don't have that. But a quick Google search shows us that people have farmed wheat manually for years, and it seems pretty straightforward. Just plant it onto a farmland, wait, and then harvest.
Our only advantage is that the materials have evolved so far that instead of a stone hoe, we can now use one made out of netherite. And here we have not one, but 2 fully enchanted netherite hoes we can use.
And from this chest here I can grab all the... Oh wait, we only have 2000 seeds. This is definitely not enough to collect 1 million wheat, but it's a good starting point. Maybe also a couple of beacons. These will help us build the wheat area faster.
And that is basically it for our item collection, because we still want to collect all the wheat manually.
The place we are building our wheatland is here, right next to the water and lava pyramids.
We are gonna start off small, because we only have 2000 seeds and would like to get the seed numbers up as soon as possible.
So our 2000 seeds are now growing, and our plan was to continue building this row forward until the farmland is just huge. But we can't do that because Minecraft has limitations, and Lauri will explain why.
So wheat only grows when you are next to it, And no, you don't need to be that close. Here in my test world I planted a huge area of seeds, and look what happens when I speed up the time. Everything grows, but there is a limit on how far it grows around me.
We then took some measurements on what the maximum area is, and now we know how big we can build it.
We then got back to making the wheat area bigger.
One collected, I guess.
Okay, our first batch of wheat is now ready, and we can harvest using the most professional method. Just open these trapdoors and the water will flow down.
I hope we get a lot of seeds and wheat.
The result is here. We got 4,600 seeds and 890 wheat.
Now let's place back all the seeds and build even more farmlands.
The reason why we are doing the straight lines up is so we could harvest them pretty often and get enough seeds for the whole area.
The days are going by quickly when building such a huge thing. This is also one of the reasons why we chose to do 200 days instead of 100 days. The other reason is because it's our video and we make the rules here.
Here's the progress so far. We have collected 16,000 wheat in these shulker boxes here, and the 4 long sides are all complete. But after we harvest and replant all of this wheat, we are going to expand this area even more by filling up all the corners with more farmland. In the 4 sides we are growing almost 15,000 seeds, but it doesn't mean we will get 15,000 wheat when harvesting everything, since who has the time to wait until all of them are grown up? Definitely not us.
Now our first corner is finished with the maximum sized wheat field. We only need to repeat it 3 more times to finish this area. But first, harvesting the whole wheat area again. With the day count already over 50, we are a bit worried about whether 200 days is enough to even finish the wheat field build.
We are not even close to finishing our wheat field, but it already takes us 35 repetitive minutes to replant all of the seeds here. I know we said we're not gonna use any redstone, but everything here takes a lot of time, and opening these trapdoors is like super annoying. To solve this, I'm gonna build nothing other than a lever that opens all the trapdoors at once. Now imagine everything here is full of wheat, and I didn't screw up while building the redstone.
I can flip this lever here and the water should start flowing down.
And it's broken. Hold on a minute, how can we make sure that the server doesn't crash when opening all the trapdoors at once? Well, first we have our high-end PCs, but then we have a really high-end server hosted by our sponsor Wise Hosting, a Minecraft hosting company made by us. One quick fix later and now it is working perfectly, and the amount of wheat we get every time is increasing a lot.
Look at the wheat here. Doesn't seem a lot, right? Enabling the hitboxes, you can see how many there actually are. It's crazy.
After this harvest, we have this many shulker boxes of wheat, which is exactly 81,600 wheat collected.
The time is at day 100, so we had a war room meeting and from now on we are only focusing on building the wheat field. After everything is built, we can put our grind set back on just farming the wheat.
After 115 days of playing Minecraft, we can finally say we are done with the building part. So that leaves us 85 days to focus on farming only.
We have now reached the maximum size wheat field and it's time to harvest all of this.
Our huge harvest, which we barely managed to handle before the entity started disappearing, got us our 51,000 wheat. Those are pretty big numbers, but we must keep on going until the 200 days have passed.
Every replant you see here of the huge wheat field took us 2 hours to do, and this is 2 people doing it full time. It's pretty crazy and annoying, but that's what makes it into a challenge.
Our time started running out fast, so for the last and final planting, we didn't even do the whole wheat field. And the 200 days have finally gone by, and it is time to count up the final result. The number is 402,560 wheat collected in 200 Minecraft days. That's a big yikes.
Doing the calculations now, we can see that hitting 1 million wheat could happen if we played for another 200 days of just farming. So we sadly have to announce that we failed this challenge.
Failing a challenge that we made is kinda embarrassing. So we set another goal: collect 100,000 TNT as fast as possible by using a farm. And you know, farms are what we like building the most. We have this massive perimeter sitting completely empty in our world, and we just so happen to need 100,000 TNT blocks for our next project. And how can a perimeter help us with collecting the TNT? Well, today we are going to build a crazy fast creeper farm inside the perimeter, which will hopefully help us collect the 100,000 TNTs that we need.
The creeper farm design we are going to build will produce us 150,000 gunpowder per hour, and it's supposedly very simple to build, designed by methods. And I mean, it does look simple.
But this has to be built inside the perimeter. Our perimeter, which was built a while ago, took 47 hours to make. So I think we can all agree that the hardest part of this farm building is already done for us.
What we don't have is a couple of blocks for the farm build, like the sea pickles. I thought about collecting these manually, but since we need over 1700 sea pickles, I think there are better options, like making a farm for sea pickles.
Yes, making a farm to get items to build a farm. This is the ultimate farmception. As you can see, farming sea pickles is so easy using this farm, generating like 1,000 pickles in just a minute.
There is always that one annoying item that takes half an hour to craft, the dispensers. We need like 450 of those. Get some string and get some sticks. Then you have a massive amount of bows, which you need to craft into dispensers one by one.
The rest of the blocks that were all easy to collect are in these shulker boxes here. And here's the perimeter we can finally dust off after letting it sit completely empty for 10 months.
We started off by building the ground level for this creeper farm, which has dispensers in the ground for a feature that I haven't seen any other farm use. I will explain what they do, but not right now.
We got absolutely mobbed by all the slime spawning on top of the blocks here. I know that they are friendly and just want a hug, but hello, we are trying to build here.
After we placed leaves on top of all the dispensers, we got to waterlogging them. And then goes exactly 4 sea pickles on top of each of the leaves.
I know this is all very confusing and seems like a bunch of random blocks, but here is what the farm designer did. You have this thing that we built and there is actually a boat inside the dispenser. Now if you dispense that boat, it goes directly above the sea pickles. We also have a roof, so if a mob spawns down here, it gets into the boat and pushes out the top. And then imagine we have a portal here on the top, which means all the mobs are teleported away. That is how genius and easy this creeper farm is.
The build is going great so far, and our next step was supposed to be putting the boats on top of the sea pickles. This is kind of impossible, because look at how many creepers there are, and there is no way I'm going in there. So you could say we are in a bit of a pickle.
I'm thinking about just finishing the rest of the build on top of here and just worrying about the boats later on. We then moved on to the nether side build, which is the place where we will collect all the gunpowder.
The nether side is an easy system, at least for us. Creepers come to fall and die, then we use some pistons to push the items into hoppers, and the hoppers lead into shulker boxes.
I should say boom! That's how easy it is to get shulker boxes full of gunpowder. But we gotta finish up the farm first. Remember the boats? We still need to get those dispensed. It's time to go into the farm where all the creepers are, but we are prepared. I have a lot of torches and Robin has some weapons. This will keep us safe, but let's see how it goes.
I risked my life and went into this creeper filled farm, trying to light up everything. It wasn't easy and harmless as you can see, but at the end everything was lit up.
So we moved on to dispensing the boats, and thankfully after this we never have to come back here. After completing the boat thing, look what we have now. All the creeper heads are out, so I guess the farm is kinda working. But the last thing is to light up all of these portals, so we could actually get the gunpowder from them.
Standing right here makes the farm work, but we are not getting the maximum rate. See, there are some other mobs spawning between the bedrock here, because our cleanup job hasn't been the best.
So what we'll need to do is remove all the blocks like this. I just hope that it doesn't take us too long.
And now our farm should be working at its maximum rate.
And here is what the nether side looks like. Holy creeper! It is absolutely insane how many creepers are falling down. But okay, now we are gonna AFK this farm for a bit to see if it actually works as advertised.
The rate of this farm is 160,000 gunpowder per hour, which is crazy. We AFK just a bit more than needed, as you can see. There is about 1.3 million gunpowder here that was all collected in 8 hours of AFKing. But the gunpowder is not the only thing we need for the TNTs. We also need 400,000 sand as well.
And this sand tuber here makes us 18,000 sand per hour. But this is not enough for us, so we are gonna build a bigger version of this sand tuber in another stronghold.
And we didn't build just one new stronghold with 4 sand tubers, but 2 strongholds with 4 sand tubers each.
I'm sorry, but that was a lie. Because we actually built 3 of them, so a total of 12 sand tubers we can run all at once.
These hoppers used to be our collection system, but they can't handle our new sand tubers, so this is another thing we need to upgrade. But what does it look like when all the 12 tubers are running? I don't even know, but I wanna see it as much as you do, so let's fire them all up.
And that's 4 tubers running. Now 8. And that's 12 tubers all running. Let's hop into the end and see what it looks like. And this is the 100,000 sand per hour being tubed.
As you can see, the blocks are broken down here and they go right into our Shulkerbox loaders. And for the 100,000 TNT, we need the AFK sand for 4 hours.
After we AFK'd our 400,000 sand, it was time to take all the shulker boxes and get to our final mission in this video. And that's our crafting setup. We have some sand here, some gunpowder here, put them together, and we should have 100,000 TNTs in just a couple minutes. Okay, let's do it.
After an hour and 35 minutes, we have a little over 100,000 TNTs all crafted into red shulker boxes. But from the last shulker box, exactly 1 stack of TNT is missing. I do have enough gunpowder for this, but instead of sand, we have sandstone. I wonder who crafted this.
Finally, we have the 100,000 TNT blocks and we can start building them. Since you are here and watching the movie with us, you can see what we did with the 100,000 TNT right now. This here is us exploring the end dimension and getting an elytra from the ship. But what if I told you that the whole end was fake, including the ship we just explored?
In our last episode we made 100,000 TNT blocks, and today you will see us use those to dig a massive hole and turn it into a fake end dimension that looks exactly like the real one.
You might be asking, why don't we use TNT tubers like we have used for all of our previous perimeters? That's the problem, we have never tried digging without TNT tubers. So the rule for this project is no TNT tubers.
One of the ways you can use TNT is to place the ground full of it and hope for the best. But the results are so unpredictable, so this is not what we're going to use.
Introducing the TNT grid. With this you can always drop the TNT in the same place and it gives you an even result. And this is what we are going to build, but almost 100 times bigger.
We have an item list for the TNT grid and only 2 things are missing in our storage room. 6,000 redstone dust and 600 dispensers.
For the redstone dust I just need to survive a couple of hours in the raid farm without dying. It's been a problem in the past, but we'll see. And I survived, which means I have shulker boxes of redstone dust waiting. That was easy.
But what's not easy are the dispensers. Again, in our last episode of making the massive creeper farm, we had to craft almost the same amount, and it was not fun.
So, our digging is gonna happen right here. And the shape of the hole will be a big circle. Let me fire up the drone so you can see better. The circle area here is what we're aiming to dig down.
And our first step is to use our shovels to get the ground flattened out in a circular shape. Now we need to dig even further, but only the outside row of the circle. Then fill those with water, so the TNT can't destroy our beautiful walls.
We found a nice surprise along the way. This huge water area that all has to be drained. Otherwise the TNT we plan on dropping here won't destroy anything.
It took us 3.5 hours, but our border digging is done. This is the kind of tunnel we have now, more than 80 blocks deep and going all the way around. The next step is filling this with water. This water will hopefully help us keep the walls clean and not get destroyed.
Then we also made the ground a couple of blocks lower, because the more we dig, the deeper the fake end is gonna be. Now we can get to the interesting part of building the TNT grid. What we need to do is first of all build this area full of the kaboom machines. But then we can't forget to dig down one more block to avoid blowing up the machine itself.
This is the first time when we are building something with dispensers, and we know that later on we are going to get those back. This is the kind of project I like. I'm not gonna lie, this huge grid looks epic, but we gotta add some extra redstone above it that will be used to activate all the dispensers at once.
What makes this redstone so special is that when I activate it, it all activates instantly at the same time. That's because you wouldn't want 600 TNTs all dropping and exploding at different times.
And to every single dispenser, we are going to add 2 stacks of TNT. This should be enough to dig as far as the TNT drops.
To our surprise, we didn't even end up using all the 100,000 TNT, only about 78,000 got used. After that, we dug out one more block from the ground level to finally have the TNT grid ready and armed.
Saying that I'm excited for the next part would be an understatement. Let's start the machine and see it blow up the world.
Look at this thing go. This is the fastest world destruction I have ever seen. Obviously, if you see any water or lava, it has to be stopped. It's laggy right now, but it's looking good.
It didn't take long for the first lava to appear. Once we get it removed, we can start it back up.
It is so satisfying seeing all the 600 TNTs dropping at once.
And while it's doing its thing in the background, I wanna answer one question. How do we play together? Well, it's easy. We sit like 2 meters apart in this super dope office and have a server.
But actually, you and your friend could be sitting anywhere in the world when you host a server from Wise Hosting, our own hosting company built by gamers. But let's get back to mining. Only 10 minutes later and we have this massive hole with an almost perfectly flat floor. But as you can see, the destruction job isn't perfect, so we'll need to remove all the rest of the blocks manually here.
And that's the circle clean of all the floating blocks. I can see the water didn't protect our walls perfectly as it's full of holes. But that's fine, since all of it's going to be covered up anyway. Now let's get rid of the TNT grid.
Look at what we have here. Oh boy, that is a lot of black concrete powder. And this is also the last time we can see this hole, because this black concrete we are going to use is going to turn this into a bunch of nothing.
We are gonna try placing the concrete powder first. This falls down and then we can use water to turn it into regular concrete. This way we can save time by not having to turn the concrete powder into concrete. Once we finish the walls, a random and amazing idea hit us. What if we don't make the bottom floor flat and just cover it the way it is right now? So that is what we started doing.
our concrete placing is finished, and look at how beautiful this thing is. I am so glad we didn't decide to flatten out the bottom. But okay, this is still concrete powder, and we'll somehow need to cover this whole thing with water, so we can finally have the complete darkness in here.
It literally doesn't seem real. From far away I could say it's just a black circle and nothing else. But then you can see Lauri go into this, which looks so unrealistic.
So the outside still looks a bit horrible. I know, it's time to fix this by calling in the Shulker landscaping team. And we are already here, so let's get to work.
Now I'm happy with how it looks and our void is ready. But we still have to build an end island on the inside. For this we went to the end and just stole a piece of the end island.
But we didn't stop at just getting the end stone. We then went to get blocks from the nearby end city, which someone had already destroyed. For us, this seems like the easiest way we can get a bunch of purple blocks to build a copy of the end city. Guess who's back?
Me, you and a lot of shulker boxes of end stone.
And with this trio, we can start building the end island into our hole of darkness.
This island we are building is an actual end island. I just scaled it down to about 20% of the real size. It already looks like the real end dimension, but we have planned one more decoration, which will be an exact copy of the end city. Oh yes, the only way you can tell this island is fake is because it's hollow.
The city with the ship is also an exact copy of the real thing, cause we only produce the highest quality fake stuff here. Everything is ready, even the chorus fruits are growing. But should we also bring a couple of shulkers to make it even more realistic?
But there are two. We are Shulkercraft, so might as well be shulkers.
Well, technically, you also need... Okay. That's realistic. We are definitely shulkers. And that is our fake void with the end fully complete. You could say that we got to the end of it. I think it looks absolutely mind-blowing, and I never imagined the feeling in here would be just like in the end dimension. That's a good use of the TNT, I have to say. But during this, the Minecraft 1.20 update was released and brought something really awesome into the game. I absolutely love the new armor trims released in Minecraft 1.20, so I knew we had to upgrade our server as soon as possible.
And here we are in the new 1.20, but still in our boring old armor.
So today we are going to collect every single armor trim that was added to have unlimited customization options in the future.
The first one we headed to search for is in the Nether, and more specifically in the Bastion Remnant.
We have to be super careful here, not to get killed by the piglin brutes. But as the saying goes, do as I say, not as I do. But I made sure to be a lot more careful in the future.
It's fair to say you were not the only one struggling with the piglin brutes.
There are two double chests. Oh, I found the first one. Which was the netherite upgrade smithing template. So yeah, this is not actually for the armor trim, but now you need these to upgrade your diamond stuff to netherite.
Quickly after that, I also found the armor trim smithing template, so our job here at the Bastion was completed.
And here is our loot from the Bastion remnants. As you can see, we got 2 smithing templates, and thankfully all the smithing templates can be duplicated. For example, this one needs 7 diamonds and 1 netherrack, and this one, the snout armor trim, needs 7 diamonds and 1 blackstone.
And as a new rule, we will be making an armor set out of every single armor trim we collect. I duplicated this enough times so we have a good amount of them. But I gotta choose a color too. I'm gonna start with iron. First one out of 16 rims is collected, and we are definitely trying out a lot of colors as well.
Let's go and collect another armor trim. Our next trim can be found from a shipwreck. I know there are some ships around here, but I'm not sure if you have already looted those. And of course these are already looted, so we need to look much further away.
Oh, I found the trim, and actually 2 of them in a single chest. And from the other room of this ship I found 2 more.
Oh, I found 2 as well.
So we were super lucky and got 8 smithing templates. And we don't even need to waste any more diamonds to duplicate them. So Lauri, take the template.
And for this armor trim, I'm going to choose emerald as our color.
Now we are searching for the pillager outpost chest. There is only 1 chest and the chance to find armor trim from there is 25%. So it's like flipping a coin that has 4 sides.
So let's see what we get from the first one. We get nothing. And
What we were finding was a lot of goat horns. Once again, only a goat horn.
another goat horn.
Goat horn again.
Uh-oh. That's not good. My elytra broke. Only 10,000 blocks away from home. At least I got my goat horns. Oh, yes! I found it.
We are back and it took exactly 11 goat horns to find 2 sentry armor trims. Now let's take them and apply them on the armor using redstone.
This is not my favorite armor trim, but our collection is slowly expanding. There is actually one more armor trim we need to look for in the nether, and that's the Reap armor trim that can be found in the nether fortress. At least every nether fortress has a lot of chests, so finding this should be easy.
Oh, diamonds, 3 diamonds.
I found 1 diamond.
Oh, I found one. I found the Reap armor trim.
We got the Reap armor trim, but we also got 12 diamonds, which is nice to have. But this armor trim is going to be applied using lapis lazuli. And this here is the Reap armor trim. Damn, this Reap looking good. Now I'm hungry.
Okay, now this is going to be interesting. Our next 4 armor trims can be found using this new tool, the brush. Here is one for you too.
Thank you. And I also wonder, can we enchant these? Unbreaking 3 seems like a good enchantment for these.
Now that the floors are cleaned, we gotta find trail ruins somewhere in the forest. We have found our first hint of a trail ruins. But since this is our first one ever, I think we should dig it out to see how big it actually is. I had no idea how big it was going to be, but we just kept on digging and digging. At the end, this digging process took us a total of 2 hours.
And that's the shape of our trail ruins. What an interesting structure. But we are here only for one thing, the suspicious gravel. What we need to do is use the brush, and we have a chance of finding one of the 4 armor trims. Not sure if we have enough suspicious gravel here to find all the 4 armor trims, but we'll see. Oh, I can't. Oh, that's an armor trim. Let's go. 1 out of 4 found. I got another one. The second armor trim.
And it's something. Oh, we already have that.
And I found an armor trim as well, but a duplicate again.
Is it the new one?
I don't think so.
It's a template.
It might be a new one.
It is a new one, yes. We only have 1 more left to find.
I'm getting a new one, but it's the same one.
We kept on brushing, but the luck was not on our side anymore.
That is what is left of the trail ruins after all the suspicious gravel, dirt and everything is removed. And even some of the houses got removed over here.
We got a lot of stuff from the trail ruins, but there is still 1 armor trim missing. So we need to find another trail ruins.
We found the second trail ruins, and as soon as we found the suspicious gravel, we brushed it. And it didn't take long until... Is that the one? Yep, we found it, the Wayfinder armor trim.
And we now have all the 4 armor trims collected. It's very beautiful to see all of them together in one shulker box. Now let's take all the armor trims and add them onto the armors.
These are the 4 new armor trims, and I think they look amazing. And look at the whole collection, we have 8 trims so far. And I have to say, the diamond color is definitely my favorite out of all of these. We have 8 more to collect, so Robin, let's go.
And the next armor trim that we are going to collect is located in the strongholds. We have discovered a lot of strongholds to build sandtubers in the portal room, but we never actually looted the chests from the rest of the rooms. Found the chest. Only an apple and a chest plate.
And supposedly in a library, you have a chest that has a 100% chance of generating with the armor trim. And that's the one, the eye armor trim.
Armor number 9, and that is colored with amethyst shards. Our journey now takes us into the desert to find some desert temples.
So we both found a desert temple. Now there is a 50-50 chance of having the armor trim inside one of the chests. Which one of us is the lucky one?
Let's find out. No. 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 Ah, no.
No. No. No. No. We were both unlucky. Okay, let's see if maybe we are lucky together. And the first one I open, I see 2 smithing templates.
And there are 2 more on the other chest.
Robin? Uh-oh. To show the netherite color well, I'm gonna apply it on the diamond armor. And that's what it looks like here, displayed on our armor stand.
This next place I have probably visited only once in my lifetime of playing Minecraft. And I'm talking about the jungle temple. I didn't find anything good from my temple.
And I got 2 wild armor trims.
This is a wild looking armor trim. And the template looks cool as well. A bit different than all the others.
If you wanna know where we are going next, then the hint are these totems that I'm holding. I think you all know where we are heading.
And that is the ancient city. This thing scares me, but we have to search for 2 armor trims from here.
One armor trim has a 5% chance of generating, but the craziest part is that the other one is the rarest armor trim ever, having only a 1.2% chance of generating in a loot chest.
Our strategy here is this. We fly around, find all the shulkers and destroying them. This of course spawns in the warden, so there were a lot of wardens walking around. There is a guy coming in front of you, see? You see?
This also meant that if you got blinded and didn't know where to escape, the warden could easily get you. Dealing with wardens is hard, but if you are wise like us, you host a server from Wise Hosting, so you can play together and everything becomes twice as easy.
After a while all the shulkers were gone and we could do the fun part now. Looting all the chests and seeing if we can find the smithing templates. I found the smithing template for Ward armor trim. One collected, but we still need to find one more.
But after finding that one, we kept on searching and searching until all the chests were looted. Turns out one ancient city is not enough to find both of the armor trims. And considering that the final armor trim has 1% chance of spawning in a chest, that kinda makes sense.
In the next ancient city, we continued the same strategy, but made the top of the portal as our base.
Our camp now has been overtaken by wardens.
From the second ancient city we got absolutely nothing. Not even a single armor trim. But let's keep searching. This is a bit sad, but we went through the whole process and found no smithing templates in the ancient city number 3.
This is now the 4th ancient city where we have removed all the shriekers, at least all the ones that we can see. But this one is special, because actually, as you can see, there is another portal, so 2 ancient cities are combined. This is absolutely huge, and I think we have a really good chance of finding the rarest armor trim from here.
And the first chest that I'm opening, nothing.
Ah, okay, hello. I thought it was the new one, but still I got the watered armor trim. And I got another watered armor trim. So now it's kinda annoying. I keep on getting these ones, but I want the rarest one.
It's a watered armor trim again.
Again? I found it!
Really?
Finally! I can't believe it! It's the silence armor trim! I'm so glad this thing is over. Yes! Let's take our stuff and go home. Look at this thing. Just look at it.
It looks beautiful. Oh, what's this? Oh! Oh, it fell down.
Imagine if there was no way to craft the silence armor trim and you had to find like 4 of them to make an armor set. Thankfully that's not the case.
For the rarest armor trim I gave a beautiful emerald color. And look how beautiful it looks. You can tell this armor trim is rare because it covers most of the armor, not like the other armor trims.
And for the armor trim that we kept on finding, I'm gonna choose nether quartz as the color. And it goes right here, next to the silence armor trim.
And it seems there are only 3 more armor trims to find.
Yes sir.
Having the hardest one out of the way, the next one is very easy. We gotta find it from the end city loot chest. Using elytras we can explore new end cities really fast, so let's see how many minutes it takes to find the armor trim.
Yo, that is a massive end city.
Oh, I found it. Here it is, the Spire armor trim. It actually took a bit longer than I thought, but let's apply it to our armor. As we are leaving, look how many new end cities I'm seeing. It's crazy.
For the smithing template that we found from the end, it only makes sense that we use the amethyst shard to give it the purple color. And that's what it looks like. Pretty cool. Now we only have 2 more to collect. We now need to collect an armor trim by killing the Elder Guardian. We have a lot of experience in raiding the ocean monuments for all the sponges that we have. So this is more than easy. But that also means a lot of the nearby monuments are already empty. Like this one right here.
Killing each Elder Guardian, you have 20% chance of getting the armor trim.
Oh, did you get it?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, I found it. We now have the dyed armor trim.
Very nice. It only took us 6 guardians to get it.
Looking cool, but you know what looks even cooler? Finishing up this whole closet. So let's get the last one.
For the final armor trim, we need to just buy this Woodland Explorer map to find the Woodland Mansion.
A Woodland Mansion doesn't have a lot of chests, but it has a lot of indicators who spawn in vexes. Yes, I found the Vex armor trim from the first mansion.
For the last and final armor trim, I'm gonna choose gold again, cause I really love how it looks. Wow, you know what? This actually looks really cool, just like a Vindicator.
We are fully complete with the armor trim sets, but you know, we didn't make all of this just for display. We get to choose one trim too.
Are you ready to see them? Tada! Here is us specced out in the new and fancy armor trims.
It was really fun and actually useful challenge, so thanks to Minecraft for adding it.
What's cooler than looking cool? Looking ice cold. Okay, but for real, I still really love the armor trims. And I also love giant farms, which was our next project. We found a bamboo farm that produces a crazy 2 million bamboo per hour. Our current bamboo farm is this, the smallest looking farm ever, which is kinda ridiculous. But that's not the only reason we want to build a new farm. In 1.20, bamboo is finally more useful than it's ever been, because we can use it to craft planks, and then the opportunities are endless.
We have an easy 3-step plan. Build the bamboo farm, then do some interesting stuff to get it running, and finally profit, which means crafting ourselves a ton of bamboo planks. We already happen to be near a bamboo forest, which is probably the best place to build a new bamboo farm. Oh wow, somebody has already set up a camp here. There are some beds and shulker boxes that are full of different redstone blocks.
I can imagine that whoever did that probably spent like hours researching for the best bamboo farm, then counting the blocks and spending another couple hours trying to collect all the blocks from different parts of the world.
Anyway, we get to start right here, but we gotta make some space for the huge bamboo farm. Not only are we removing all the bamboo, but also digging a trench that will fit the bamboo farm perfectly.
Now our digging part is done, and we somehow managed to make it look like the airplane landing strip.
If you are wondering how we are going to land a bamboo farm here that produces 2 million items per hour, then I'm glad you asked. There is a good catch here that I can explain after we built a small part of the farm.
I think most of you can see where the catch is. There are two types of bamboo farms. First of all, farms that work by just letting the bamboo grow and then harvesting it with a flying machine, for example. But the second type involves speeding up this growing process with dispensers and bone meal, and getting to harvest it instantly. That's exactly the type of bamboo farm we have right here.
We have a lot more modules to build here, so let's get back to building. I have to give a shout out to Toasted Sausage who I found from this video. World's fastest bamboo farm. We solved the potential that bone meal based bamboo farms have and made a more compact version that we are building here. There are going to be exactly 36 bamboo farm modules in this build.
I didn't notice this sneaky guy, so I kept on building until suddenly I heard this loud bang. I got surprised with a brand new hole. Wow! We made the entire farm ready, but there is something else we need now. It starts with B and ends with own meal. The best option is to use a farm which is not actually meant for bone meal. It's the legendary Ian XO4 Wither Skeleton farm, which is great at farming wither skeleton skulls.
But how good is it at farming bone? I'm gonna start the auto clicker and see you later, guys. We AFK'd for the whole night in this farm. I had a really good night's sleep, so it was around 13 hours. The results were exactly as we thought, about 43 shulker boxes full of bone.
This is only about 74,000, but we get to work with triple the amount because all the bone will be made into bone meal. So we will have over 222,000 bone meal that we need to divide evenly to all of those chests.
And by our calculations, every chest needs exactly 1 shulker box of bone meal plus 5 stacks.
You know what's the funniest thing about this bone meal? We just input 222,000 of it, and you might think this is a lot. But this bamboo farm here is so fast, we can only AFK here for 5 minutes. Let that sink in.
But before we can pull the lever and start this farm for 5 minutes, we still have two very important things we need to complete. First one is the collection area.
For anybody who likes numbers, there will be a total of 134 hoppers ready to collect the bamboo. And for the rest of the people who don't like numbers, you are not gonna believe it, there will be so many hoppers that it's a huge amount of hoppers.
And for the visual learners, we just got the collection system ready, and here you can see the amount of hoppers it uses.
The second very important thing is the decoration. You know, we would never leave a farm this plain looking, especially in the jungle, where a lot of dangerous animals live at.
There is actually one on your shoulder.
What do you mean?
But our decoration is still missing some blocks, and that's why we are at our massive sheep farm. Haven't been here for a while, to be honest. This thing still works great, as you can see, and thanks to us AFKing a million wool here, I can actually grab the necessary wool from here. So there is no need to run this farm.
We also need terracotta for our decoration, so there is no other option than removing a whole mountain. Let's get mining. So while editing this, I managed to glitch my recording software to get a view of what the mountain looks like as dropped items. You can see the different layers, and damn, we really did collect a lot of terracotta from here.
And just like that, the terracotta mountain has disappeared into our backpacks. It's time to go back to the jungle.
I bet it's not a hard challenge to figure out what the decoration will be, based on just these blocks. We have a lot of wool and some colored terracotta blocks. But okay, we are gonna start the build to reveal the decoration. Building stuff just the way you like is always the best. Just like we have built Wise Hosting, the place where we host and you can host a high performance Minecraft server. And let's get back to the video.
The broken off part is supposed to represent where the bamboo used to be, until it got tipped over. Obviously we need light on the inside, so the roof is built with some glass windows. And the final part is the icing on the cake. We are building huge leaves attached to the bamboo shell.
So what do you think about this decoration? I think this turned out awesome. And now you can recognize that this is a bamboo farm from far away. And on the inside everything is so green and nice looking.
One more small redstone wire got connected and we can finally spend our 200,000 bone meal.
There are two levers now. This bottom one starts the collection system. As you can see, all the minecarts are going. And about the second one, I think we all know what it does.
Things are looking very laggy, but it only means it's working. And now the bamboo starts flowing in.
And what's gonna happen now is that the hoppers will all start to get full, so it travels further and further away. While we wait to see how much bamboo we can get from here, I can show you how this farm actually works.
There are 6 dispensers constantly bone milling the bamboo, which makes it grow instantly. That's why it gets broken by the pistons all the time too.
And then there's this minecart, which collects all the produced goods and drives it full speed into this crystal, so it drops it right into the water flow.
And look at that, we are at 2 minutes and the bamboo is now doing a full circle around the collection area, waiting to be picked up by a hopper.
This thing here looks just crazy. Look at how much stuff we have. That was not supposed to happen.
2 very boring minutes later.
And that's it. Looks like all of our 200,000 bone meal is gone only after 4.5 minutes. We have to wait a bit until everything is collected so we can count how much bamboo we actually got.
We have counted everything and there is a total of 152,000 bamboo. Considering this farm only ran for 4.5 minutes, it's kinda crazy. But I guess we should craft them into bamboo blocks, and then into bamboo planks, and finally into chests.
And this is the chest that has all the chests we just crafted, and there is some extra as well. Farm complete, which means Lauri and Robin are happy, and I like making other people happy too. So we went out to build something new for the villagers. In our world we have a lot of beautiful builds, like deep down we find the completely rebuilt ancient city, in the ocean the fastest garden farm, or a black hole which we made into a fake end dimension. But all of this got us thinking. We have never just looked up and transformed the sky. So the goal for today is to build an entirely new city in the sky.
Right from the start we knew we wanted all of this to be built on little islands. In our one chunk base we had some islands, but that's so small. Seems like only a chunk wide. But the hardest part is the island layout.
So I grabbed my pen and paper and started sketching out some plans. I really had no idea how to draw a nice layout. But when I spilled my coffee, the layout came out of nowhere. That is perfect! So I sketched my coffee over the Photoshop and the planning was done.
As you can see, we have a huge excess of stone, andesite and other stony types we will grab. And of course dirt that we will also get.
We built an additional island just to store the shulker boxes of items we need to build the islands. But now we can follow our sketch and build the first island out of the many.
After placing exactly 2400 stone and 4100 dirt blocks, we can say that we are done with the first island.
Can't forget that the small steps right now make a big difference later on. Like this single grass block which will beautifully spread on this island. But on to the next island now. And our population is suddenly already growing on the Sky Islands.
We have a strict no weapons policy on this island, so it's better if we get rid of them.
Bye guys, and now the population is again at 0. We get to go back to the construction work.
Building the empty islands took us as long as a full McDonald's shift, so 8 hours and 40 minutes.
It's a lot of time, but I think the layout is just beautiful. Shout out to the coffee for spilling out so perfectly.
Usually after a work shift you get to go home, but we still have an entire city left to build. For our city building we have gathered every decoration block possible, except we are missing spruce, oak and dark oak logs.
So we need to head inside this massive tree, which has the spruce tree farm, so we can fire it up. Okay, maybe not firing it up, but just starting it.
This produces 150,000 logs per hour, only a couple of minutes and we will have enough.
Then we fire I mean start the oak tree farm on our farming island.
And finally we went to the forest to cut down some dark oak logs using our bare hands.
Those were the 3 wood types and 3 ways we got them. Finally, it's time we can build out the first 2 islands.
We took our time and built 1 house each. The goal we set was to include some unique features into each house.
The total build time for these was 2 hours, and there is no better way of showing them than it's time for house tours!
Welcome to the melon farmer's house. Let's start our tour from here, from the side of the house.
Oh, it has an automatic melon farm.
Yes, and all the harvested melons come up to this chest. Now we can go into the house, and the first thing you see is a lot of melons.
I can definitely tell that the only thing this guy likes is melons.
So, and this is the emergency seat, and here is the kitchen.
That's full of melons, this is full, even the fridge is full of melons.
Moving to the second floor, you can see some artwork, and we also have 2 rooms here. The first one is the guest room.
Even the beds are colored just like a melon.
But okay, this second room is a master bedroom. And that's it about this house.
That was a great melon house tour. But give me a minute and you can come knock on my door as well.
Hello, anybody home?
Yes, hello. You can come right in. I'm just making some bone meal right now. You wanna make some too?
Yes, sure.
Just pop the bad boys in there and you can watch the magic happen. And now I can use this bone meal to grow even more crops.
That's not very cost efficient.
Wanna see the bedroom instead? Just follow me.
Run over the pressure plate.
And 1 more floor up, we can find the bedroom.
That's a very impressive 3-story building.
And outside I have 1 more thing I want to show. It is this lever here.
It is getting kinda dark, so let's see the lights. Okay, that's actually pretty lit.
We are missing a very important part of the city. How can we move from one city to another without using an elytra?
That's why the next step is to build some beautiful bridges connecting our islands.
These islands are the middle part of the Sky City, so we are building a market here that the whole Sky community can visit.
Remember what happened before? Well, now we got not 1 new bridge, and not 2, and not even 3, but 4 new bridges that we built.
On the first market island we have some stalls selling you raw or cooked fish. Then we also have a chicken salesman that actually has a secret tunnel going underground. This seems like a fridge, but why does he need a fridge if he actually sells a live chicken?
Going through the bridge number 2, we get to the bigger market area. We have many more market stalls here, but they are still empty until we open the Sky Island to the residents.
I almost forgot, but we also built a nether portal here. Nothing too fancy, but I think it looks really nice.
We must continue, and the next 2 builds will enhance the security of the Sky City.
On my island I'm building a watchtower where you can look over the entire city.
And this here will be a sheriff's office, catching all the bad villagers.
Another 3 hours of building went into this part, and so far we are 16 hours into making this the coolest Sky City. But I wanna show you the watchtower that I built. Actually, you know what? This is also worth sharing. Look at the pig soup I'm cooking here.
Oh, that's why I saw a ridiculous view of you bringing the pig with a lead.
Let's go enter the watchtower.
I have to ask, why does it say 0?
Well, we had a little accident with something randomly exploding while we built it.
I have to say the view up here is nice, but not as nice as a view I built.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I will show you in a moment.
And for getting down, you could use the not safe option, or just come right here and jump into this hole. And the final thing I want to show is this blimp right over here. It already departed from the island, but it will be back soon.
I literally don't see anybody on the blimp, but okay.
It's AI controlled. Okay, show me around your islands now.
To get to the sheriff's office, you need to go through this scary forest. But there is a cool hidden place along the way. Come in, Lauri.
Wow, this is actually a pretty nice view you got here. But not as nice as the watchtower, definitely. Wait, what's this here? Are you brave enough? Of course I am. 13 residents have died here. I'm not so sure now. Best view of the island, with a little parkour course. Should be easy to do.
Once you go through this very hard course, you get to this amazing platform with a certified best view.
Okay, this view is actually pretty amazing. I'm really surprised.
Let's continue our journey over this dangerous bridge, so be careful, Lauri. And this is the main building, the sheriff's office. Come in.
I guess the creeper is the most wanted criminal on this island.
Yes, but they have never seen the creeper, and as you can see, the sheriff is working hard on finding him.
I can confirm that he should be jailed.
Upstairs we have a bedroom for sheriff, and if we go down to the basement, we can find the jail.
Wait, there's somebody already in there.
Yes, he's very aggressive and will never see freedom again.
I have to see, where do these stairs take you?
I think you know what this is used for.
But this sheriff's office was very nice, and these islands are coming along so well.
Before we build our last couple of islands, we should bring in some villagers here and get the population growing.
That meant we went to the nearest village, built a long railway up to the Sky City, and pushed through our first couple residents. Then it was time to breed them.
Welcome to the city in the sky. I hope you like it here, but avoid going to the edge, and I wish you a safe living experience.
We then moved the villagers to many different places, like market stalls, which has a salesman in each one now.
Also to different houses where they can live at. And the rest I didn't know what to do, so I hid them away under the ground.
But okay, we got the last 2 islands. Let's work on those.
The last 2 islands are also decorated, and on these we did some smaller builds.
There are these 2 new bridges as well. But on the first island we find this small house that is an enchanting room.
And the other island has this house which has 2 separate apartments where 2 villagers can live at.
And just like that we finished the whole city in the sky. The total build time came up to be 17.5 hours. But the result is highly amazing in every way. Did we think 17.5 hours was a lot? Definitely, but we never thought that our next project could beat that by taking almost triple the time. We have a problem. The world is at day 6700 and we have this massive storage base, which was built over 5000 days ago. But it has remained the same ever since we built it. It deserves more than an upgrade at this point. But I still love the overall shape of it, so we are not destroying it, but rather changing out the blocks, adding more detail, building a new ground floor, adding many new farms into the base, and a lot more to make this the ultimate base version 2.0.
This idea of upgrading is heavily inspired by the video we made 6 months ago, where we bought 3 designs of our base for $1,000. Using the inspiration from these builds, we spent about 5 days in creative, redesigning the original base.
The preparations are all done, and now we just need to place a couple 100,000 blocks to make this into a reality in the survival world. I think we are all good at starting, so let's take the outside of the base as the first area and see how fast it goes.
After 5 hours, the progress was not great. I'm guessing it takes a while because we have to destroy the blocks first and then place the new ones. It's a lot of work, but we got this.
At this point, I'm happy to say that the outside remodeling is more than halfway done. Just look at the base already, it has a completely new look. Like somebody switched on the dark mode, which is obviously better than the light mode.
If you are wondering how did we have so many deep slate blocks, then the answer is we didn't. During the build, we had to go and collect them by using our huge diamond tunnel bore. This machine throws the TNT and produces a lot of cobbled deep slate. I just had to run around and collect them, and that's how the shortage of deep slate was solved.
The last part we did was this small so-called roof on the top. It doesn't feel like it, but we have already worked for a total of 18 hours and 15 minutes on this project. It's absolutely crazy.
The outer side of the base has now been fully transformed. We got the overall darker blocks, added more windows and got more details added into every single part of the base. I like it so much more. But before we move to the inside of the base, the goal is to also improve the surrounding area.
And we are starting by adding a road all around the base, which you can see by this hole we have already dug. But let's continue with the build time-lapse, because once we do get to the inside of the base, we have some really unique ideas we want to do. I always thought these mountains looked ridiculously fake, so I think it's great to fix that problem as well.
In addition to the road around the base, we also made these mountains realistic by adding many trees and some grass with bone meal. This was not hard to do, but I think this improved this area so much.
We spent about 3 hours working on the outside, but it really does feel like a new base in a new area. But anyway, now we get to move to the inside of the base, which needs a lot of hours of work too.
Step 1 is getting rid of this. We want to make a basement floor, and from here it should have an entrance.
It's going to be the same X shape as the top floor, but we gotta make some space first. We already had one thing built to the ground floor, which was this, the super smelter, but now we just connected it directly to the ground floor.
2 of the tunnels here will be storage for regular items, but the final tunnel will be storage for our rare items. That's our plan at least, so let's build them out.
We have now spent the whole day or 24 hours on this transformation, and my best guess is that it will take at least 10 hours more.
The middle of our base has now transformed into an elevator where you can safely drop down. And here you even find a couple of backups of our armor sets with the special trim.
Then we have more storage space for different blocks that we didn't have the space for before. Although yes, the redstone for these is still not connected, but we will deal with that later on.
The final area has our collection of every single armor trim. Here's what the armor trim area looked like before. They were so hard to collect that they definitely deserve a more special place.
And on the back, we have a music disc collection. You have to trust us on this. We have most of them, but just don't know exactly where. Now we move back to the main floor of the base. Because this white here is it's an ugly light mode. so everything will be swapped to look nicer and darker. After the chest area was done, we realized that those 4 little biomes definitely don't fit here. So this is another thing that gets deleted to make a new and hopefully a better looking one.
Dark mode has been activated for the interior of the base. And also we completely reorganized our entire storage layout. Finally, every single chest has an item to it, and there are even colored markings on the ground, helping us not get lost.
We even exposed our 4 little corners here, which we previously used to build random stuff and farms, just like this honey farm. But now is the time to change that, and build some actual decorated space with stuff we have always dreamed of having.
Starting at the bee farming area, which we will make bigger and fancier. While building, I thought it was kinda crazy that all the redstone projects got their honey blocks from this small farm, hidden away somewhere at our base.
The bee farm is now ready. It's very cool, yellow looking and beautiful. Here on the back we have a bee breeding greenhouse.
And all of this is the automatic honey farm. It's about 3 times bigger than the last one we had, so it's still missing a lot of beehives.
We can work on those later in the bee breeding corner. But for now, let's work on the 2 next corner areas. I'm gonna start working on building more useful farms here.
And my goal is to finally have an enchanting and brewing station in our base. I'm tired of always having to travel to our old base for those simple things. Before I got to my ideas, I had another idea come to mind. A snow golem farm to get snow. Here you can see me building this thing pretty fast.
My whole area will have 4 different farms that we actively need or use.
This is my little snow area I built as an extra. Whenever you feel like shoveling for some snow, come here and shovel.
That's pretty cool, and I like that you actually built 2 of the shoveling areas.
My second area is the new tools and armor enchanting room.
Oh yes, we have needed that for a while, and it actually looks really beautiful and organized in here.
My third and final room is what I like to call as the brewing square. And you can manually farm netherwort right here on the spot.
That is nice, but if you're looking for fully automatic farms, then this is what I got here. First, we have the pumpkin carving machine, to make your life a lot easier. Then a sea pickle farm, to get easy decoration blocks. Then we have this really janky looking thing that is actually a moss farm. Well, I say it's a moss farm, but actually you get all of this other crap too. And finally, the old and simple flower farm, to get all sorts of dyes. This thing works way too well.
But this is not where the base upgrading ends. We have a bit of work left to do just about here.
You could say we went a bit overboard with the decorations and how big and complicated they are to build. 35 hours have passed, and take a look at the time. Now 36 hours have gone by. But we are more than dedicated now, because the inside area seems almost halfway complete.
This inside decoration was probably over 100,000 blocks, because it's crazy how long it took us. But after maybe 10 hours of enjoyable building and 36 hours of absolute pain, we have done it.
There is just one more thing we need to do.
Cleaning up the floors.
That too, of course. But actually, it's the redstone for our new part of the storage room.
I completed the item sorters and connected the last little parts. And our base is ready.
There are now a total of 600 unique items that are being sorted. And in our little stress test, I am happy to say that it's all sorting smoothly. But just take a look at this beauty of a storage space we have now.
I have to remind you that version 1 took us 57 hours to build. And now upgrading took another 46 hours. But that is what our world has evolved into.
I'm just thankful that it's not the hardcore world and we can't lose it. I wish I had a house this cool in real life, but I also wish I was a millionaire. So that brings us to the next project. We wanted to become cobblestone millionaires in Minecraft. We want to build a massive cobblestone farm. Not only it will look extremely cool, but in the last episode when we upgraded our base, we actually ran out of cobblestone. This is not the first time it happens. And having literally every pickaxe as silk touch also doesn't help.
And most of you probably don't know this, but our channel's first video was a tutorial of a stone farm, which can be used as a cobblestone farm as well. An easy upgrade to this farm is the cobble farm with TNT tubing.
Are we just going to build 5 of these and call it a day? Definitely no. We found a much better cobble farm that I think you have never seen before. Because it's got casts, fireballs, huge production rates, and best of all, doesn't use any TNT. It's a wonderful day in our new storage room to get started with the item collection.
We have just walked around the storage room for an hour and collected every single item needed for the dream cobblestone farm.
We can now grab all of our collected items and move to the new location where we can build the new farm. What? I didn't know trees grow that big.
Placing the shulkers down here and we are ready to start building it. Which means we have to make space for the new cobblestone farm.
Uh-oh. So we just hired new workers.
The most unique part of this farm will be our next challenge to build. Usually you just put water and lava together to get cobblestone and then stand behind it while mining. Or build an easy farm that duplicates TNT and doesn't require any mining.
But then a player named JGL21 discovered a method to trap casts and turn them into a fireball cannon. I think you can see where this is going, and it is really epic. Him and Scorpio got together and designed this cobblestone farm that uses cast fireballs as the explosive. They of course built it in creative, but we want it in our survival world. And right here please.
So as the first thing, let's build a cast trap. And then go catch the cast in the nether.
It's not a lot of blocks, but these should trap the cast here and make it harmless for us. I forgot to mention that actually we need 12 total cast in here. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy.
I did also make a railway for the cast, including a fat portal where the cast can fit through.
And in the nether we went to the soul sand valley, where we can make a small cast spawning platform.
Getting casts is surprisingly simple. This platform we built in the soul sand valley has 4 blocks tall area on the inside, so they can spawn but can't escape. And we added some rails to pick them up easily.
Then made a railway going all the way to our correct portal, which links up to the fat overworld portal. Everything is ready and prepared here. Now I can just go up on this platform and wait until I see a cast spawn.
I'm already in the overworld and waiting for Lauri to send me the first cast.
Oh, the first one spawned. What I just need to do now is to get the cast into a minecart. Does it work? And there he is. It's just a bit dangerous, but I can't forget the name tag, and off he goes. Please don't judge how I powered my rails. Goes through the portal.
The cast has arrived, but oh, he's stuck. That's actually not how it's supposed to go. Oh damn.
It's very dangerous.
Okay, I'm gonna kill him.
We found out the problem was that we didn't have a minecart here. Now that it's added, it should work just perfect. I got another one. He's right on the rails. Let's go. Ah, it's not looking good. Uh-oh. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't... Yes, I got it. Nope.
And the second cast has arrived. Now I just need to push this button here. Okay, that's good. And then push another button to align it more. And finally slide through here to make the final adjustment. As you can see, the cast is completely friendly and harmless now. That's because there is a honey block inside him blocking the view.
Big boy! I need to rebuild some of this area now, but then we can send the other 11 casts that we need. It's not the smoothest job getting casts, but what's always smooth is our own Minecraft hosting company Wise Hosting. But I do wonder how Robin is doing in the overworld.
My job isn't too interesting, but I'm still an essential worker here.
But my job was very interesting in the Nether. It took some time, but eventually I developed a really good and smooth strategy to get the cast into minecarts without any damage. And that's all the 12 casts safely transported. I'm really surprised it went all so smoothly. Now we have to build the rest of the farm around these casts while being really careful.
These may seem like a blob of redstone, and you are correct about that. But at the end, each of these modules just generates stone and pushes it around the armor stand. Half of the cobblestone tubers are now ready, and a fun fact that I managed to build 2 cobblestone tubers at the same time when Lauri did only 1. He's kinda slow.
We continued building the stone generators and I was still consistently slower than Robin. But after 2 hours of building the same modules, we got this finished. I know, compared to Robin I suck at building. I don't even know how is it possible for Robin to be twice as fast. But I do know what we need to build next. We have the 6 cobblestone generators ready, and also the casts. Ready to shoot fireballs. To put these 2 things together, we need to build some roads that can align all the cast fireballs into each cobble generator.
These roads all work with water and help control where the cast fireballs are going. You don't want to underestimate the abilities of these, because they can evenly divide the fireballs into all 6 stone tubers. That's of course if you build everything correctly. I don't really want to say it, but we need to test the machine.
I am excited but also scared that if something is built wrong, our 4 hours of work could be gone in just seconds.
I have to AFK in here to start it, so if something happens, I'm probably going to die.
Let's go full send and hope for the best then.
Starting the farm in 3, 2, 1.
It's working. I see the fireballs. I just hope they are all guided correctly. And I think that's a success.
Did we really nail it on the first try?
I guess so. I got the heavy rain of cobblestone here.
Oh wow, there is a lot of already. So this means it's time to build a storage system.
I did like the effect of the cobblestone rain, so let's take our pickaxes and start building the storage system below the ground here. The cobblestone rate of this farm is no joke. It should be able to produce around 345,000 cobblestone per hour. We put them into shulker boxes, but it's still 200 shulker boxes every hour.
And we are done. This chunky loader will put all our cobblestone into shulker boxes.
But what we didn't show is the final storage room. These are all the chests that will be filled with shulker boxes full of cobblestone.
But we have just one more thing to build. We never leave the redstone out in the rain, so it's time for decoration.
We are going to take some inspiration from this huge tree that we built, but you will see that in just a moment. Let's get to building.
If you think we did a horrible job with the colors, then here is a hint of what it's supposed to resemble. But trust me, we tried a lot of variations in creative to make it look the best it could. The outside of the block is now ready and it looks pretty cool. We made the roof with glass, so whenever you fly over, you can still see what's on the inside.
But talking about the inside, we should make a viewing platform all around the walls to have a closer look at the farm when this thing is running.
Let's do it!
The inside only had different stones, so I really like how these wooden pillars complete the inside look.
But we are ready to officially open this place and put everything into action.
Welcome to the giant cobblestone block. Let me open the door for you.
Underground piston door, nice. We are now on the inside, and this time you should be the one running this farm.
Alrighty, if you hate stairs, then you are in luck. We have these water elevators. Alrighty, if you hate stairs, then you are in luck, because we have the water elevators. Up here, you can walk on this platform and go real close to the ghasts. It's scary, but it's actually safe, cause they must be sleeping. Okay, I'm gonna hop into the minecart and start the farm like you are meant to.
In about 10 seconds, the farm is running at full power. 12 casts putting in the work and producing a ton of fireballs. All of them get perfectly aligned to destroy the stone and produce cobblestone. And this is a genius collection system. We can still look at all the 356,000 cobblestone falling every hour. And they get sent right into our huge collection system underground.
I am gonna AFK in this huge cobblestone block for like 15 minutes, so we can see if we get many shulker boxes full of cobblestone. Okay, I'm out of here. Let's see what's happening underground in our storage room. Oh damn! Now I think you believe us when we say that this thing produces cobblestone like crazy. Another farm complete and we were officially cobblestone millionaires. And soon you may think we are absolutely crazy, because watch what we did next. There are a lot of different biomes in Minecraft, so we got an amazing idea. Visit every biome and build a matching farm into that biome. The icy biome clearly needs an ice farm, a flower forest needs a flower farm, and so on.
When you look at all the biomes Minecraft has, the list gets pretty long. We merged some biomes that are really similar, like all the oceans, into just a single ocean, jungles into one jungle, and the list was complete.
We ended up with exactly 25 different biomes in our list. That also means we have to build 25 different farms.
We spent about 5 hours choosing 25 farms and collecting all the items for them into these 25 chests.
Wow, we are now stranded in an ocean. So that is our first biome and we are going to build a fish farm. I don't know who built this, but it's definitely not in the middle.
Lauri is a living proof that this works. He even couldn't get out of the water.
Appi! Appi!
The fish farm is ready and they are dying pretty quickly. We are getting about 4,200 dead fish per hour from this small farm.
That's the ocean biome complete. But we are going to catch some even bigger fish now. Because the next biome is rivers and we are going to build a squid farm to get ink sacs. We are missing exactly this farm in our world. Because we constantly need black dye and an ink sac farm is the best way to get those. With all the digging, building and training this farm required, it became a really time-consuming process, taking us over 3 hours to build.
The training is complete and the squid farm is ready. It looks very happy with its huge eyes and the farm works great.
There is a ton of squid spawning in these water towers. And after just a bit of AFKing, look at how many ink sacs we have. It makes us around 4,800 ink sacs per hour.
Moving on with our biomes. Or should I say moving up? Because it's the mountain biomes.
And hello to all the goats. You probably haven't even thought about farming goats, but we have. So we are going to build a goat horn farm on top of these mountains.
We built the farm ready really quickly and then brought all the nearby goats that we could spot. Thankfully there were a lot of them. And one wild snow fox also came to say hello.
The goats don't regrow their horns, but this farm works with an easy concept. You just breed them in this box and when they grow up they start ramming the chickens in the middle.
As you can see, many goats already lost their horns and in like 10 minutes we got 20 goat horns. We are going to leave the goats to enjoy their dirt meatball view and move to the next biome.
Which is the plains biome. Since we are missing some music discs in our collection, we decided that we need a music disc farm.
Many farms that you can see in this video have a tutorial uploaded to our channel. We just haven't built them into our actual world, including this farm.
The music disc farm is ready, and we try to do unique decorations for each farm. So this has the music disc on top, but it basically has a mini creeper farm and a skeleton whose job is to shoot the creepers.
In our storage room we have all the rarest discs. So let's AFK at the new disc farm to see if we can get the rest of them.
The AFKing is over and we got not just a couple discs but the whole album. And our music disc collection is finally complete, having every single music disc in the game.
Plains is complete, but the next biome is not so nice and warm.
That's the snowy taiga. We can already tell by the biome's name that this needs a snow farm.
Snow farm is complete, but that's not all. We got the perfect Christmas decoration idea for this farm, so we made that into a reality.
And that's the snowman build complete. And on the inside of this little guy we have a 2-person snow farm, which doubles our usual production rates and brings us 140,000 snowballs per hour.
We now travel to the cherry grove biome, and it's not hard to guess what farm will be built here.
The cherry farm?
Yes, but cherries grow on trees, so we are building the cherry tree farm. As a man, I wouldn't use pink wood as building blocks, but just for this farm I'm breaking this rule, but only this one time.
This farm fits so well into the cherry grove biome that it's even hard to notice it. But let's try it out. That was not supposed to happen. Just a couple redstone things were missing, but now those are fixed and the farm seems to be working.
This farm has a huge downside. It consumes a lot of bone meal while working. But then again, it produces us 18,000 cherry logs per hour.
That's pretty amazing. But wait, what's this here? We have a portal. I wonder where it takes us. Oh, it's the next biome, the forest.
We already have the stuff here and some trapped villagers. Using them we can build an iron farm into the forest biome.
We don't want to be the bad guys, so we made a clear sign that says trap. If any of the iron columns still falls through, it is for 100% their fault.
Even with our sign, this farm still makes us 600 iron per hour.
Next biome. It's another forest, but this time it's a flower forest.
We already have a flower farm in our base, but 2 is always better than 1, so let's build another one. The farm itself is small, so we built a decoration around it, using the shape that Minecraft doesn't have, circles.
The circle flower farm is ready and I think it came out looking amazing. The only problem is that when we started, it only makes white tulips. We kinda forgot how flower forests work, but at least it looks great.
The next 3 biomes are taiga, birch forest and the dark forest. They will all have a tree farm, so I thought why don't we just show 3 tree farms built together. Spruce so-called farm was a 10-minute build.
Then the birch tree farm took us 5 times longer, just 45 minutes, quick and easy.
But the dark oak tree farm was the longest to build and also had the most complicated redstone. This took us over 2.5 hours.
The easiest one we built is the spruce tree farm. I know this doesn't seem like a farm at all, but when you grow this area full of trees and then jump on top of the trees, you have an easy way of collecting them. We have a giant spruce tree farm in our world that makes us 150,000 logs per hour. But we are not gonna talk about that.
The birch tree farm is more automated. You have to place saplings, but you can AFK while doing that. You can actually use this to farm oak, spruce and jungle as well. But the rates of this farm is about 20,000 birch logs per hour. And it uses 15,000 bone meal while doing that.
Yikes! The final farm is the dark oak tree farm. It's the biggest and the coolest one. To start, you just hop into the minecart and start placing the saplings. When the tree appears, you get sent down to be protected from the TNT explosion that destroys the tree.
It is producing 21,000 logs per hour. And I'm really glad to finally have a farm for this dark wood, because we always collected it manually.
But then, this trio of the tree farms and the ink farm makes this area look really cool. We have completed 11 biomes so far, and that means we only have 14 left to do.
We are at the jungle, let's build a farm. Here we went the easy way and built a small cocoa bean duplicator. But if you look closely, the backward sign says you need bone meal for this.
That's a scam. And this is a mushroom field, our next biome. Most people have a regular cow farm, but we are making a mushroom cow farm.
And that is the whole build. You just breed them in this small box and you will get some loot. Talking about loot, the farm we can build in swamp biome will produce us the greatest of loot.
That's of course the witch farm in this huge swamp biome. Let's build it. I just noticed that we uploaded a tutorial of this witch farm over 3 years ago. Holy moly, time does really fly.
We had a little decoration idea and I think it looks kinda funny. The production rates of this farm are not huge, but before the crazy raid farms, this used to be the best way to get redstone.
Moving on from our witch island, because we have another biome to build at. It is the mangrove swamp this time, and here we will build another tree farm, this time for the mangrove wood. I can confirm that the mangrove trees are the most annoying trees to remove, but the way this build is in the middle of the forest is pretty sick.
We built the whole house for this farm, but Lauri is gonna show this farm in action.
After aiming in the right spot, I just have to stand here and place the saplings. It's a crazy difficult job.
It works like it should and produces 2000 mangrove logs per hour. It feels like we have built like 10 wood farms already, but let's get to some other farms now.
That's right, because we are heading to the desert. There isn't much here, and what could you possibly farm here? Well, it's actually one of the best places to build a mob farm. So let's get our build started. And the secret to this being the best place is this producing less rotten flesh than any other biome. This is all thanks to the desert spawning less zombies.
We added some artwork to tell you this is a dangerous place on the inside. You don't wanna go there, but it produces about 3000 drops per hour and is a very multi-item farm.
Now I'm freezing because we are at the ice spikes biome and we gotta get moving to not be cold and build an ice farm. This is the one farm where I am not sure that you can tell what the decoration is supposed to be, especially when the farm is not running.
We all know how expensive it is to craft blue ice, and this will help us. After you AFK for many hours, it hopefully looks like a huge beacon with our decoration.
And you can just destroy the ice block, which makes it a way more fun way to collect. But I know what's not very fun. The next biome, Savanna. And that's because we have one more damn tree farm to build here. But this will be the final one, I promise.
This farm was designed by the one and only Ianixo4, and he always makes it so easy to build. This took us just half an hour.
Another project complete. We have a working acacia tree farm. This makes us like 8500 logs per hour. But I am more glad that this was the final tree farm we had to build.
And the next biome is Badlands. You will never guess what farm we are going to build here. That's right, we are making a crop farm. But more specifically, it's a potato farm, because this biome kinda looks like potato biome. Or it's just me.
Anyways, we have a villager potato farm here, who gets to live in this fancy little house. I also have to say that the view this house has is just crazy. Makes me jealous. And you know what? All of our overworld biomes are done. That means it's time for the first nether biome, the nether waste. But instead of being in the biome below, we are gonna build on the nether roof.
Right away one farm comes to mind when I think about this biome. It's the shiny block farm, the gold farm. Probably the 20th gold farm we built in our lifetime. But here we have another one for the sake of this video.
And it makes us a whopping 22 gold blocks per hour. I'm just never gonna use it, because we have way more powerful ones in our world. Only 5 more biomes to go, with the next one being the Soul Sand Valley.
I really do hate how many cars this one spawns. Every time I fly through it, I get like an army of cars following me. Time to get them back and make them suffer.
The farm is literally made out of just obsidian and quartz, but that's only for the nether side. On the overworld side, we built something just a little cooler.
This is a cast farm, but you can't really see much on the nether side.
But on the overworld side, you can see they spawn into a glass cast. This decoration really came out great, and it produces us 360 cast tears per hour. That is called sweet revenge.
Another nether biome is the Crimson Forest. Here you got the hoglins attacking you.
And when someone attacks you, just build a farm of them. It's one of the easiest farms to build in just 5 minutes, and it will produce a ton of food and leather.
That's the whole hoglin farm. And yes, it has legs, because we couldn't figure out any better decoration. If it doesn't walk away, it produces like 1800 cooked pork chop and 300 leather per hour.
Moving to the Basalt Delta biome, we have another easy farm. It's the Basalt farm. The biome itself doesn't look very beautiful, so at least we made the farm look extra luxurious, having a red carpet and everything. You just use your pickaxe and mine away as much basalt as you want, getting up to 17,000 basalt per hour.
But the warp forest biome is a whole another story. I think this biome looks beautiful as it is, so we are building a camouflaged fungus farm here.
It's basically a flower farm, but just in the nether and works very fast, while using a lot of bone meal. But I think we managed to hide this farm pretty well in this biome. And if you're interested, here's everything this farm produces.
But what is that? Is that really all the nether farms finished and we just have one more biome more to complete?
Oh yes, that is true. We have almost reached the end and the final biome is the end. And here we are doing something more complex. We are gonna build a wither rose farm that uses a wither as a part of it. But let's build it and you will see what it looks like.
Out of all the 25 farms we built, this farm here will be the most useful for us. We can use it for obviously wither roses, but also for black ink, so actually there is no need for the ink sac farm. Our wither rose farm is ready. The endermen are dropping and getting killed by the wither, which produces us a grand total of 6.9 thousand wither roses per hour. And that marks our 25 biomes and 25 farms as complete. It was around 18.5 hours of building, but we probably spent another 12 hours on planning the decoration. But who's counting at this point?
And that brings the end to our 1 year of Minecraft the movie. We used Wise Hosting for all the episodes, so thanks to Wise Hosting for being the best Minecraft host. But especially thank you for watching this video. Let me know your favorite build in the comments below. See ya!